Hey everybody, hope you're well. I just want to talk to you for a couple of minutes about something that I've come more and more to rely on, which to most people would say defies logic, to some people would say is truth. You have to excuse me, I'm suffering with a bit of a cold and sore throat at the moment, so if I sound a little weird, that's why. So I want to talk about trusting your gut. Despite our brains being the place where all the clever stuff happens, your gut is really a good readout of something in a situation and what's happening. And how can I explain it? Well, actually, your gut, your stomach, when something bad happens or something good happens, you do feel it here. You feel it here in your stomach, in your gut. Whether that's good or bad, you know that something's there. You can get butterflies, you can feel queasy, and that's because you have nerve endings there, and your brain, the very complicated thing that our brain is, sometimes transmits signals to us in ways that we don't quite get. So our gut is a great readout of how we feel about something. When information in black and white doesn't make sense, sometimes your gut really does tell you some home truths. And every time I've gone against my gut feeling, it's not worked. It's been a mistake. I made a wrong choice. There's a massive scientific explanation about this, about how, nerve endings are connected to your brain, and your subconscious mind will actually tell you things that your brain doesn't process, but it expresses itself through feelings and sensations. There's a lot of good stuff about that, but the core principle of this is that your instinct is usually right. Your instinct is usually right. And I know of a time, I can remember going into a business venture, this is a few years ago now, and something just didn't feel right. To be honest with you, the deal and everything looked great. The opportunity was fantastic. It really did look great. But there was just something that just didn't feel right. Despite all the conversations that were happening and all the people involved seemed to be on the same wavelength, and it was really exciting. We were really kind of, there was a lot going on, but there was just something niggling away that said to me, there's something not right. And I ignored it. I ignored it, didn't trust my gut, went with what it said on paper, and it actually turned out to be not a disaster, but if it had gone on much longer, I could have been in serious difficulties. I had to cut it and kill it, because despite what we were all saying, there was something else going on, and it wasn't anything sinister, but it was just down to each party being able to do their bit, and it turned out that some of the parties couldn't do their bit, which meant I couldn't do my bit, which meant basically the whole project stalled. And when you invest time and effort and money in things, and you're looking for a return, and a project stalls, it can be terrifying, it can be frightening, it can be a disaster. So for me, I've always learned that my gut instinct is usually right, and trying to trust it. And I think, have a look at your own gut instincts about things. Have a look back at some of the decisions you've made and how you felt at the time. Did you feel a little bit queasy as you were making the decision and it turned out to be a poor choice? Or did you trust your gut and it turned out to be great? I just think that as human beings, we're a lot more complicated sometimes than we think, and sometimes these sensations and feelings and instincts we have are actually wisdom we don't fully understand, warning us of things and guiding us on things. So that's my thought. Trust your gut. Go with your instincts, and it's served me well, and every time I've gone against it, it's not paid off. So that's my thought, guys. Trust your instincts, trust your gut.